So, Ois Beis, second page in the Maimon, line 9. When you understand. So the Rebbe is going to ask over here a very basic issue. And that is, it's established and it's a given that when a person does avoida, it's much higher and reaches much deeper than if this is something that we are not doing avoida, when it's coming by itself. Therefore, the fact that Shabbos accomplishes things automatically, the Tainug, that still is not the same power and the same level like what happens when we are actually doing something to cause this to take place. So he says, when you understand how you do it's known as the fact that on Rosh Hashanah we need to awaken Hashem's delight through the work and service of a person. For the blowing of shofar. Though at the beginning of creation, this was something that was drawn down on its own. Through the inspiration of the light of above, now is through the avodah of Yidden. The root of Yidden is Hashem's essence. The delight that comes down now is greater and higher than the delight that comes down on its own at the beginning of creation. That's the emphasis that he said before, Akshav versus Tchilas Abriya. Soon he's going to bring this in the footnote. He says this is a similar thing with the Maila of Rosh Hashanah, that Rosh Hashanah was established at the day of the creation of Adam Rishon, not on today's date. Today's date is Chaf El. Chaf El was the day of the creation of the world. When was Hashem's delight brought out the first time around? That was on the day of the creation of the world. But that's not the ultimate delight, because that is a delight that came on its own. The delight that the Eibishter really wants and that really reaches deeper and higher is something that's evoked by a person. That's why when do we celebrate Rosh Hashanah? On the day, not of Chafei Elul, today's date, when the world was created on its own because of Hashem's own delight that he would picture himself enjoying, but because of the delight in actually having a person doing avodah. If so, how can Shabbos' automatic delight be in any way a replacement for the blowing of the shofar? Line 17, according to this, when it comes on Rosh Hashanah, falls on Shabbos, the Shabbos, that the delight is a result of the time of Shabbos. Like we know, Shabbos mekacher v'kaim. Shabbos is in and of itself, it is holy. It doesn't need anything from the person to do. Not like Yom Tov, that Yom Tov needs to have Bezdin to proclaim the new month, and then that's when Pesach is going to be, that's when Sukkot is going to be, etc., etc. But Shabbos is automatic, so there's no input from the person. There's no avodah of the person at all. So you're telling me there's delight because of Shabbos. Did I do anything to evoke the delight? No. Shabbos didn't come because of me. So seemingly it's missing the power of the delight of the avodah of a person. And this is why he also says in the footnote that the 25th of El is hinted in the word chafei, koi. Koi is only like this. It's not the highest revelation. On the day of Rosh Hashanah, we say, this showing on a greater revelation, that's the day of the beginning we are doing. So the Rebbe is going to try to answer this and say, there is still avodah. Even on Rosh Hashanah that comes out on Shabbos, we have an avodah that seemingly is to a certain degree a replacement for the blowing of the shofar. We have the saying of the Psukei Shofars. We know that in Musaf and Rosh Hashanah, whether it comes out on Shabbos, whether it comes out in the middle of the week. We say 10 psukim from Tanakh of Malchios, speaking about Hashem's kingship. 10 psukim of Tanakh that speaks about Zechronos, Hashem's remembrance. 10 psukim of Tanakh that speaks about shofars, about the blowing of the shofar. And specifically, the saying of the blowing, the psukim of the shofars, we know the rule called Loimet Toras Oila Kilo Ikriv Oila. Whoever studies the laws of Korban Oila by reciting the Parshas HaTamid and Korbanos every morning, it's considered as if we're bringing the Korban Tamid. So the same thing, by saying the psukim having to do with shofars, so seemingly we are accomplishing something with our avodah. We are reciting the psukim of shofars. So the Rebbe says, not so quick. Let's look in line 21. Even though also Rosh Hashanah comes out on Shabbos, there's the avodah of reciting and saying the psukim of shofars. So we have to know that the psukim of shofars are not the initiator of the Hamshacha. The psukim of Torah that we recite, the psukim shofars, is only to reveal the Hamshacha that's already present. The reason why we recite the psukim is so that what we're drawing down should be revealed. That's why we don't just say the psukim of shofars on Shabbos when we don't blow shofar. No, we say the psukim of shofars both when we blow shofar and we don't blow shofar, because the psukim is not about like studying the Torah's Oila that's replacing or in the place of being Makrav Oila. The psukim of shofars is to take that hamshacha that shofar drew down in the highest, most levels. Now it should become revealed down here. That's the job of Torah. That's the job of psukim shofars. Line 24. Let's explain in the Maimer of the Hemshech Mamorim of Yom Rosh Hashanah Tavresh Samach Vav. The hamshacha sh'ayidei mitzvahs eino begilu kol kach. That which we draw down through mitzvahs is not so much revealed. Vagilui, how does any revelation take place? Why there are Torah is through Torah. Top of page Zayin. Why Torah? Because Torah is called Torah Oir. Torah is a Torah of light, of illumination. Therefore, we should be able to have the drawing down of the light through the fulfillment of the mitzvah of blowing shofar should be in a revealed way. It's through the saying of the psukim of shofars. That's the reason. Also Rosh Hashanah comes out on Shabbos. We recite and we say psukim of shofars. Though the drawing down of the delight of Hashem is then already on its own, because what are we drawing down from Shabbos? We're drawing down through Shabbos, just it comes down, drawn down above. Just like when we blow shofar, which is a mitzvah, it just draws it down above. Then we need the psukim shofars to facilitate it coming down here, to channel it down here. So I should be able to be the revelation down here below. Why they amir psukim shofars is through reciting psukim of shofars. Since through saying the psukim is only a revelation of that drawing down. And the drawing down itself is only as a result of Shabbos itself. When Rosh Hashanah coincides with Shabbos, we're seemingly lacking the special advantage that occurs through avodah. That even though we have the avodah of saying the psukim, but that's not the avodah that brings the initial hamshacha about. That saying the psukim is only facilitating it coming down. It's not about it being it's not about initiating it. So therefore, we seem to be missing a crucial part of the mitzvah of shofar. We're missing the avodah of a yid, which is very vital to the whole message of Rosh Hashanah, to the whole message of Rosh Hashanah, to the whole message of shofar, that the yid is the one, the person is the one that needs to draw down the delight. We'll stop a little bit early here today.